Okay, let us all pray together. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين خالق السماوات والأرض والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. Dear God, you're the creator of the universe. All praise is due to you, and may peace and blessings be on all prophets, especially the last among them, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Dear God, we ask you to place in our hearts mutual love and respect and tolerance for one another. We ask you to love for one another that which we love for ourselves. And we ask you to guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you bestowed your blessings, not those who have caused your anger or who have gone astray. Allahumma ameen. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
جزاك الله.
At this time, we would like to invite the Arundel County Muslim Council President, Brother Rudwan Abu to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank you all for joining us here. Alhamdulillah, this is our third event for the Arundel County Muslim Council. And we will continue doing something like that. And you listen to our holy book, the Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us nations and people so we can know each other. And that is what the event here for, so we can meet with each other and know each other. And I'm thankful to you for being here, and I'm thankful to my wife to give me the time to dedicate for the community, and I want to thank my council too. I have a really very active council members, alhamdulillah. I would ask them to stand up please. Brother Dubli, Brother Sajid, Brother Riyad, Brother Leave, Brother Mustafa, Brother Chad, where is Shah Ansari, and Brother Nasir, who is in Pakistan. God be with him and his father, and he's taking care of his family. We have a Brother Nuruddin, Brother Jay Mirza, and a Brother Zulfi. My brothers, they work very hard with me, and one of the things they want to make sure that I don't talk too much. So I showed them one paper here. A surprise for them, I have a plenty hiding here. And I want to use them all, so alhamdulillah, so we're going to be patient. That's one reason why we serve the door. So if I stay here 2 hours, nobody throw any tomatoes at me or anything. So be patient with me. So I have to tell you what is the objective of our council. Our council started in 2007, and the main mission as a civic organization to network with the community at large and to do charitable events like the food drive, the blood drive, and the education, and to interact with the law enforcement at large, whether it's the FBI, and alhamdulillah, two of our council with the advisory board for the local FBI, advisors to the county executive. We have plenty, as you see, senators and delegates. And for protection, I made sure I have the Attorney General sitting on my table too. So I have no trouble after I leave here, whatever I say. And the judge too, mashallah. So we have Judge Sarkor sitting on our table too. But anyway, the idea is the main thing for us to do, as you see here, the young people, to empower them. We want to empower them because this is what America coming to. It's not a surprise that in the United States in 1976 we graduated engineers more than 2005. This is not good news for us as Americans. And so we have to concentrate in the young generation, education. So we want the theme of our year, this year for my council, is to be the education. So it's something very important, and it's a knowledge that with education you can network with the other people, with the neighbors, with the co-workers in a better manner. So we are empowering our women too to take a role. And it's not a surprise, I didn't push it. their positive views. Look at the sisters here who's going to introduce the politicians more than the young men, which is good trend because we are as Muslims, the first thing we get accused that we hide the women. We don't educate them. It's a surprise for you. We have more educated women and Muslims women than men, or in general too. Alhamdulillah, I have 4 boys and 4 girls. They all finished universities and they have good life. And this is so in our teachings. It's a must from the cradle to the grave. Education is a must for us. So it's not a surprise to see our dedication to the education, because the end of the day, when we came to America and we intend to come to America, and our Muslim brothers who are Americans live in this country, we read our books with desire and love for our God, Creator, for our neighbors, and for each other. So it is very important for us to get the education rolling, and part of it to get with you as a community member to get together. And you probably notice even one family, when they come in together, I told them to spread around the idea to do the networking too. And I attended other political events. You see the politicians all gather on one table. We make sure here to divide them, not to sit in a table. For one thing, at least they don't talk about us this way. So we want you to get more acquainted with our community, and you are our guest, and many of you have been in many events for us, because sometimes I need the protection. That's why I asked for my friend Mike Finney. He's a big guy. Where is he hiding? And brother and Ed, Big Ed, the 2 big Eds. I have the 2 big Eds always in our event. So you know, I get big Eds, so my community don't strangle me because I don't know about my council. When they see these papers, all these papers, what they're going to do next time. But the things which we want you to take to the community at large, when you go from here to your co-workers and to your staff, to your families, that we are dedicated Muslims. We have the same concern like everybody else. We want to put food on the table. We want to have a shelter over our head. We want to have a good economy. And this message, good economy, so hopefully they will not raise the tax next week when they meet, because that is one of our desires. So I hope all the councilmen, or at least the delegates and senators, they can take this in consideration. We have a Muslim community, most of us own businesses. And it's not a secret that the businesses lost a lot of money in the last few years. So yes, we feel sorry that the employee is going to be furloughed for 5 days. But we lost the 25% of our income. I wish we lost 20 days. So there's no sympathy for somebody get furloughed 5 days. So this is one our concern. Yes, we talk about, this is not a political event, but this is our concern as Muslims, as a community. We want the community to aspire, and we want to be able to send our children to school without harassment, without poverty, without running a credit card at 25% because we don't take interest, and we don't try to take interest. And it's in our teachings we don't take interest. So we need your help. We need your help to talk to the community that we need education program to the children and to the young generation. We need even the adults to go back to school. Many of them lost their jobs. They need to go back to school. We want them to be empowered. We want the sisters to be empowered. That is why we started in Arundel County 2 years ago with cottage industry to empower the sisters. If they have a smaller project in their homes, if they want to do it while they're raising their children, we're willing to work with them financially to empower them. I don't want to take too long from your time, because I know I have, we want all the senators and delegates to speak. But with here, I'm proud to introduce the Master of Ceremony for us tonight. She is a high school student. She's in the honor roll, in the national honor roll. She has the appearance with the First Lady Michelle Obama, and she is going for the medical school next year in Georgetown. With that, I want you to welcome our Master of Ceremony, Amara Chaudhry. Please.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this event, and thank you for being here tonight. I am honored and pleased to be with you and to have the chance to bridge the gap between the Muslim community and our local leaders. The purpose of such events rooted from the principles of community. This evening, we are here to celebrate the progress that has been made, but also to shed light on those members who have helped to encourage that progression. I was born here. I was raised here. I am a Muslim, but I am also an American. And those are two things that I pride myself on. I attend a Catholic school. I have been exposed to the Eastern and Western societies, and I relate to both of them equally. I am the emblem of what you could say is representative of all things that define us to be American. I stand before you as a member of the youth, the next generation. Upon getting involved with the mosque and my community, I learned that in order to progress, we as Muslim Americans have to make our voices heard. And our voices have to be in union with the voice of America. Tonight is about us, Americans. Tonight is about recognizing what it means to be a Muslim American, but it's also about recognizing those who have helped us to get where we are today. While seeking to stay close to our faith, we must strive to be patriotic, and we must give back to our community, and we must strengthen our ties to withhold our presence. Muslim communities collaborated through combined initiative to bring community members and leaders together. If we look at a much smaller scope, we can see the visual progress that has already been made. For example, when the American Muslim community came together to form a local mosque called the Mecca Learning Center. This institution is not only a mosque, but it's a community center and a Sunday school to provide the young Islamic youth a platform. That was made possible because of each and every single person in this room tonight. On behalf of Mecca Learning Center, thank you. The center reaches out to the local community to develop interfaith relationships and to undo the prejudices that were formed post 9/11. This center, and many like it, have come together to form political ties and even participate in state legislation, like when the Maryland Muslim Council actively worked with Governor Martin O'Malley and his support of the Muslim community. Councils have also been formed in multiple counties within the state, including Baltimore, Anne Arundel, Howard, and Montgomery. All of which who have established a positive Muslim relationships with the local government and local communities in the suburban Maryland area. We have officially begun to utilize our resources as Americans. Tonight is about recognizing how far we have come as Muslim Americans, but tonight is also about saying thank you to those who have helped make that possible. We must continue to provide an avenue for our youth that will serve as a roadmap to the future to do well, both in their religious communities and in other parts of society. So tonight I ask you and I urge you to get involved. I urge you to get educated, and I urge you to play an active role in the changing policies of our community, so that maybe we can have a night like this every year. With that said, we have an amazing program set up for you, and we have so many dedicated and hardworking teens who have been preparing for this night for several weeks, and you will get to meet each of them this evening. Our first youth ambassador, Anam Chima, is a freshman at Arundel High School and has built big ambitions and goals for her future. Hoping to study foreign policy and foreign affairs in college, Anam aspires to be a political analyst. In her free time, she enjoys playing soccer and spending time with her family. I'm honored to introduce you to our next youth ambassador, Anam Chima.
Good evening. Tonight I have the great the representative for District 33 in Anne Arundel County. Senator Riley attended Iona College where he received a degree in banking and financing and went on to become a member of the Senate in 2009. He has taken many steps to help the community, including his role in the Committee of Renewable and Clean Energy, the Education Subcommittee, and the Joint Committee on Children, Youth, and Families. Senator Riley also plays an active role on the Council for the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Parish. He is blessed with 4 children and 5 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Senator Edward Riley.
Being the first speaker is always dangerous. You're trying to set the tone for the rest, so let me share with you my impression of this very warm and hospitable community. In New Jersey, where I grew up, I was one of 9 kids. My parents, my dad was a high school dropout, got his GED through the military, and my mom got out of high school. But my parents had high expectations of us. Of the 9 of us, there are all college graduates, 9 out of 9. 2 have masters, 1's a lawyer, and 1 at age 57 just got a PhD. I have to share with you that the drive, the importance of education, the bonds of family are the same from my family that I see in your community. I hear fathers and mothers talking about their children. I guess in wrapping up, because I'm going to be very short, no pun intended, I can share with you that my interaction with your community, with your family, and with your leadership has been very positive. And please know that you have a friend in me personally and my office as a Maryland State Senator, and I'm very honored to be with you. Thank you very much.
Our next youth ambassador this evening has some pretty big goals and some great accomplishments. Maham Shah, a freshman at Arundel High School, brings to the table her athleticism and her enthusiasm for both lacrosse and field hockey. Nonetheless, Maham hopes to go on to do meaningful things for the world. Wanting to return back to London where she once grew up, Maham wants to attend Oxford University to study medicine and hopes to one day open up a school for the deaf. It is my privilege to introduce you to our next speaker, Maham Shah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Maryland Attorney General Doug Gansler. Mr. Gansler is well known for tackling environmental and public safety issues that are imperative to the state of Maryland. He has helped focus on safety by establishing the first ever gang prosecution unit and serves as a co-chairman for the Human Trafficking Task Force, as well as working towards protecting the children of Maryland from online dangers. In addition to all of the work he has done in our communities, he previously served as litigator in a law firm. Aside his business experiences, he has a lovely wife and 2 sons and enjoys coaching lacrosse. I'm pleased to give you a UVA law graduate and a University of Yale graduate, Mr. Doug Davis.
Thank you. I'm glad you didn't play lacrosse. You probably saw that Yale beat Princeton today and won the Ivy League title. So well done. Thank you for having us here, having me here. This is actually I've now hit all 5 councils. I had not been to the Anne Arundel Council. This, by the way, this room is used for boxing, ballroom boxing. So come back another night, it'll be very different than tonight. I want to congratulate you, though, on the comments were made earlier. I do not do taxes, so don't blame me. But I do want to congratulate you on the outreach that you're making. As I go to events for the Muslim community, there's more and more of the political elected officials showing up, and you have many here tonight. You're going to hear from them. I just hope you remember who they are, because these delegates and senators that made the effort to come here and want to be with you and share their time with you, also are the ones that make sure that your interests are met in Annapolis, and they do a wonderful job down there. So thank you for doing that and for reaching out to law enforcement. I'm technically the top law enforcement officer in the state, and I wanted to briefly address that for a second. I know Sheriff Bateman is here and others. We talk about education, we talk about jobs, but one of the things we have to make sure we maintain in this country and are vigilant on keeping up with is law enforcement and making sure that our laws are just and everybody is treated evenly and everybody is treated the same, whether you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, whatever it might be. This morning, for example, I was at a Jewish temple speaking about cyberbullying and internet privacy. And the issue of religious freedoms came up during that conversation, and that is something that we need to make sure as government officials that we are very wary of. So I am also going to stop, and Councilman Pete Smith just showed up, he's our newest guy here in Anne Arundel, but I am going to stop and say this. Thank you for including me. I am going to be going to Turkey, which is a 99% Muslim country, in about 3 weeks. I'm the new president of all the attorneys general in the country. The 50 of us will be leading a delegation of attorneys general into Turkey. So I look forward to being part of that Muslim community for 9 days. And I look forward to coming back and seeing and spending time with you in the future. So thank you. Enjoy your celebration. Have a wonderful evening.
Our next youth ambassador this evening is Ishmael Mirza. Ishmael attends Chesapeake Science Point Public Charter School as a freshman, where he is a member of the Student Council. In his free time, he enjoys Rubik's Cube speed solving, and he even extended this passion in school when he founded a club of which he is president. Ishmael aspires to one day study architecture and design in Los Angeles. Please help me in welcoming Ishmael Mirza.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, and brothers and sisters, my name is Ishmael Mirza. Tonight, I have the great honor and the privilege to introduce to you someone who's done so much for Maryland that he doesn't really need an introduction. Believe me, if I tell you everything that he has done for the state of Maryland, we'll be here all night. So let me try to highlight a fraction of his accomplishments. He's been on the Finance Committee, he's chaired the Capital Budget Subcommittee, and was on the Health, Education, and Human Resources Subcommittee. He was a Majority Whip and is on the Maryland Commission for Cybersecurity Innovation and Excellence. Born in Baltimore, he graduated from Glen Burnie High School. He's married and blessed with 3 children and 6 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Senator James DeGrange.
Good evening. You know, I got to get to know Rudwan through Rotary Club at Glen Burnie, where he invited me to attend the Maryland Muslim Council meeting in Baltimore. And it was such an experience for me because you just got to meet people that are just like any other person, any other American. They care about their communities, they care about their families, care about their jobs, their children, and education, and giving back to their communities. And that's what this group, when this was formed, I've had the opportunity to be here, I think all three years that had this event, and of course other events that I've been invited to through the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council. But it's just wonderful to know that you have so much caring people, and we need to all work together, and I look forward to continuing that relationship long into the future. So I want to thank you for inviting me, thank you for having me. I know there's many other speakers, some will be longer than others. Rudwan's got a lot of cards, and I know that he'll use every one of them. I've been around him a long time. But anyway, congratulations. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure to present to you our next student leader for the evening, Nora Hassan. Nora is a freshman at Chesapeake High School, currently enrolled in all honors classes. Nora is the recipient of multiple awards and recognitions for her academic achievements, including one from former President George W. Bush and one from current Senator Brian Simonaire. She enjoys going to school and hopes to continue her education at the University of Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, Nora Hassan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. It is truly my pleasure to invite Senator Brian Simonaire to speak with us tonight. Senator Simonaire has been a member of the Senate since 2007 and was the first Republican senator elected to Anne Arundel County. Mr. Simonaire earned his master's degree in engineering science from Loyola College. He is a member of Epsilon Pi Epsilon, a computer honor society, and is the founder of the Heroes at Home program. He continues to work not only for the benefit of the state, but also our own children, with the creation of Simonaire Santas for the abused children. Currently, he is a member of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation and the National Rifle Association. Please put your hands together and help me give a warm welcome to Senator Brian Simonaire.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. And I have to say, when I first walked in, one of the first things I noticed were how many children were here tonight. I've been to a lot of dinners, and I've seen a lot of adults. The number of children here is great, and they're so well behaved, too. I have 7 children, and I don't know how you keep them so well behaved. But anyway, I think it's a great opportunity to reach out to the community and share about the Muslim community. I have a little unique situation. I went overseas for 10 years, and 3 of my kids were born in the Middle East. I know enough language to get in trouble in a restaurant, but I think it's a great thing you've done, and I sit on the Education, Health, and Environment Committee, so I am also concerned about education. I think it's a parent's right, and they know the best for their child, so whether it's public school, private school, home school, charter school, I think it should be left up to the parents, and we're there to support you. So thank you very much.
Our next youth ambassador for this evening is Rabia, an 8th grader at Crofton Middle School. Rabia enjoys playing and watching basketball and spending time with her friends, but her dedication to leadership is displayed through her active role as a member of the National Junior Honor Society and a local Muslim youth group. She hopes to study medicine in college. Please help me in welcoming our next youth ambassador, Rabia Chima.
Brothers and sisters, I'm happy to introduce you all to State Senator Jim Rosapep. Senator Rosapep served in the Maryland House of Delegate for 11 years. His experience in the field of politics extends back to 1997 when he was asked to join President Bill Clinton's administration as a U.S. ambassador to Romania, doing his part to make this world a better place. Senator Rosapep has served the people of Maryland for the past 20 years. Today he represents the 21st District in the Maryland Senate, where he serves on the Educational, Health, and Environmental Committee. Without further ado, Senator Jim Rosapep.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you for inviting me to join you this evening. I got to tell you, this is a good-looking group from up here. Let's throw a round of applause. Exactly as my friend Senator Simonaire said, it's very impressive the number of young people who are here. Old guys like me get to see a lot of other old guys. But the participation of the diversity of your community, young people, older people, women, men, is just a real credit to the Muslim community here in Anne Arundel County. Let me ask you a question. How many people here are Muslim? Raise your hand if you're a Muslim. Come on, raise your hand. Let's have a round of applause for all the Muslims. There are some of us who are not, who are Christians or Jewish or of other faiths, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But we're all Americans. And we're all people of faith in one way or another who are working together for our families, for our community, and for our country. I want to ask one other question. How many people here, just raise your hand, speak a language in addition to English? Raise your hand if you speak a language in addition to English. Let's have a round of applause for all our